Yo, you are back tuned into the underground. My name is Mbaya and I go by the Doctor. So today what I got for you is a quick update. Did leave that on last night. Gotta turn that off. I might as well keep it on. I just got into the shop. Sunday may have a few people coming in for, possible content. Of course, I did owe some people some services, so today what I'm going to be doing is just pretty much making it up to them due to me being tardy and stuff like that. So I'm going to also take this opportunity to make some content and we'll go from there. And I did pick up some goods that did just come in through Amazon, of course, and these are some just little Funko Pops, the little keychains. I got this one too right here. If you know, you know. Otherwise, I did get myself a new bottle opener. This is for my people that usually come in here and always complain about me not having bottle opener. I usually use the other bottles to open the bottles for them. I don't drink on the job. That's just for my guests. And also picked up some brushes just to have some extras. You never know. These do go bad after a while. Get all super soiled, so you gotta replace them. Anyway, I do got a mic up, y'all, and this is pretty much trash. Take that out later, but I got a mic up so I can make sure this sounds awesome. Yo, this DJI mic is amazing. This thing's definitely elevated my game. If you know, you know. Having a microphone is a game changer all the way, and I haven't been using this thing consistently as I should, but for the most part, whenever I do my videos, especially the voiceovers, I always use my microphone now. So what I have for you in this first clip, of course, is a ASMR with the Gamma boosted shaver. I know y'all hear that. That thing is definitely crunching away everything in sight, super clean. But anyway, stay tuned for that review video, which will be showcasing how great this thing performs, because it is definitely, absolutely delivering exactly what I expected out of a boosted shaver. I've been waiting for that thing for some time. It won't be dropping until this September. I'm not really sure what date, but as always, thank you to Gamma Plus and Stylecraft for always being so generous. I received that thing probably about a week ago, and I got to test it out throughout the week. And once again, Gamma Plus strikes again. Big score, high quality product. Always. They do not disappoint. Anyway, I know y'all see this Saber precision in the background over here, going crazy with this lineup. And for those of you who are interested in how I went about this lineup, I did do some prepping, which consisted of me using my Gamma Plus Evo Nano Mister, which had a, of course, aftershave and alcohol astringent mix, which I sprayed on top of this, brushed it out, let it dry. Then after, I sprayed level 3 holding spray right on top of that to make sure that everything was being held in place. And when I combed and brushed the hair, really is what I did. I brushed the hair through to make sure that I was able to control it in the direction that I wanted the hair to flow. For a visual breakdown, I did post a short that does showcase how I went about that process in, of course, time-lapse style, but it's slowed down just enough to where you can make out what's going on as far as how I sprayed everything on there and then proceeded to doing the lineup. So go and check that out. I do have that posted. And there's that shaver again, which I won't be using all throughout this fade. I'm just gonna kind of get the cheek area. He is sensitive to the shaver, so I don't use it in his fade. I only get right by the sideburn area and maybe above his mustache, but he does have very sensitive skin, which I do understand some of you are aware of people reacting to the shaver, but you gotta know who the shaver is for. But this is why we have consultations. You have to ask whether they are able to handle the foil or not. The same thing goes for the razor. The razor is not for everybody, and just because you can use it in certain areas like on the lineup does not mean some people can handle a shaver or a razor on their face, such as the cheek area or around the mouth, on the mustache specifically, below the bottom lip. Can people really handle that? Or below that jawline or anywhere on the neckline, whether it's in the nape area, most people are not able to handle these sharper tools like the razor or the foil shaver. There are some people that don't even understand why they break out from foil shaver usage. They have no idea that's what's even causing it, but they blame it on the barber being so-called dirty. No, your skin is just sensitive. As for my guy Gabe, he is very aware that he is sensitive to the foil, so we don't use it in specific areas, of course. Not even Darren with that new shaver especially. I don't really know how strong and powerful that is when it comes to having that trimmer middle blade that it does have equipped on it. But anyway, this lineup is pretty much completed. The Saber is back in business. I haven't been using it for some time, and just so you who are not aware, or if you are aware, this is a update video just kind of showing what I have been using over the last few weeks, what I have upgraded, or in this case I'm using the Saber trimmer. I did have to replace my fixed blade. I did chip it with the bottom of my clipper side can. As I was getting ready to clean up the blades, I was moving a little too fast and I chipped it with the bottom of the can. Don't ask, it happens. You know, I haven't broke anything in a long time other than the clear lid that was green from my hitter, of course. That thing is not all that. But the Saber is back in business. I haven't been using it for several weeks. I've had this replacement blade on it for some time, but now that I have it back equipped, man, look, I'm in the game. And I didn't have to do any major upgrade, like as far as, you know, adjusting or zero gapping. This thing's just hitting as it should be out of the box, except for I did swap my fixed blade. I didn't swap out my cutter. I kept the same cutter, and I just disposed of the fixed blade, which was chipped. But as you can see, on a different texture, my man's, you know, hairline in the front is crispy. It's a completely different texture from the last person I just showed you, and this thing's hitting. It's not a huge blade, it's not a big blade, but it definitely does do the job. I mean, look at that. I know I didn't show y'all the full process, but this is just kind of showing some of the haircuts that I have been doing and being able to record over the last few, you know, days and weeks, because this hasn't been over a week since I recorded the last video and uploaded the update on me switching out the blade. But as for the Saber, it is back in business, and on this haircut in particular, which is pretty much completed, it's just a taper. You know, I'm just doing some details. As you can see, I got a little corner, you know, weight left behind right there. You know, smooth now, all good. You know, that CYBORG is a beast. There's nothing that it can't handle. But I'm gonna showcase to you now the update on my hitter, which I didn't really do much to, except for I swapped out the lid, the cover, to a clear one, and prior to that I did change the cutter on this trimmer. I didn't really appreciate the cutter that came on there anymore because I've been using it for some time and it started to go dull, so I changed it to the one cutter just to kind of get it back up to speed and make sure that thing was cutting official, and it is definitely performing very well. So what I'm going to show y'all is me doing a design on his nape area. He allowed me to just go ahead and freestyle, and I'm going to show y'all what it's like to use this trimmer. This thing's definitely ready to go. I'm going to show y'all an easy way to just kind of set in the guidelines to create something great, because you can take this design, which is very simple and basic, to a whole other level. So I'm just going to kind of lay down a foundation. You know, I have done this one before on him. It is kind of like one of my signatures. I think this is maybe one of A-Rod, actually. A-Rod's designs that he used to do. I forget, his was more of a circle in the middle, something like that, that he would do, using that same similar style as inspiration. For those of y'all who know, you know, A-Rod's the man with these designs. And the homie, of course, my favorite barber, the GOAT, Taylor Cuts, they usually do the same style right here. Very simple, very straightforward. That's pretty much done right now. is completed. And I can build on top of this by adding more detail, whichever way that I please. Like in a second, I'm gonna move from this hitter. As you can see, it's definitely doing its job. I'm gonna swap over to my boosted trimmer in a moment, just to kind of use my ES5 blade that's equipped on this to go a little bit wider with the lines. And I'm just showing you what layers or what steps you can take to get to the next level. So the ES5 blade definitely hits different, especially the simple fact that it's on this boosted. This thing is something that I could have done this whole design with no problem, but certain things like shading and like blending out or bordering out, I can't do that with the ES5 blade because it will welt in that nape area. This is why I switched over to the Saber precision blade, of course. As you can see, this thing definitely is set up and ready to execute whatever area that seems to be sensitive, like this nape area. As you can see in that middle section, he is sensitive in that area. It's always red regardless to him having hair being cut or removed back there. This is exactly why knowing what tools that you should not use in specific areas such as the nape, when it comes to especially the razor or the foil shaver, because everybody's tolerance level is different due to their skin type, especially in areas such as the nape, anywhere in the front of the neck below that jawline, on the side, temple, cheek area, forehead for some, on the front. You have to be careful. Even how you angle trimmer blades, for example, you have to be careful with. So right here with this precision blade, I'm going at it with, of course, in some angles with the blade that is fixed forward first. In some cases, I'm going with the cutter first. I will show you what I mean by that in a whole different video for another time, because that's too much detail to even try to add to this video because I didn't capture those angles. It's kind of like using the foil shaver is a technique that everybody should master, because once you get it, you will be able to execute and remove what you need to remove out and not have a hard time creating a possible different guide or section of hair to be cut. So yeah, but as you can see, I'm keeping on building on top of what I have already. This thing's pretty much done. It looks clean, but when it comes to design work, you can keep on building. This is a freestyle. I didn't really go through with some kind of like idea of what I was going to do. It's just kind of looking at what I have and building on top of that, because you can take these lines that you create from starting with a base, like I started with that simple basic design, which looked great, but you can add to it to make it a little bit more loud, or 3D, make it pop, bring it out. It's always interesting seeing what people can do with these designs. I'm not that great at it, but I do my best. And on top of that, this is a freestyle. This is not me thinking through what I wanted to really do or having an idea. This is just kind of a freestyle. Very simple, but you can build however way you want. You can take this whichever direction you please. It's all up to you. And know your tools. Know what they do. Know how they work. For example, this boosted is equipped with the ES5 blade, but definitely performs way different from the original stock blade, which is amazing. I love the blade. It's just not the ES5. As for the stock blade that comes on the boosted, you can do many different things with it safely, versus the ES5 is one of the more sharper blades on the market right now. It is a modified blade from Ever Since. If you're not familiar, that is one of my favorite blades. Probably the best out right now currently as of 2024. Also, another thing that's really worth the mention before I get too ahead of myself, you need lots of tools, multiple different tools for different jobs. For example, in this case, I'm using the classic X Pro blade, which is equipped with the one cutter to do this design. If you haven't seen this video, I have a full video breakdown showing you how to do those stars. Very simple, straightforward. But back to what I was mentioning about having multiple different tools is very relevant. I know it's not to everybody, because for some reason they think just one is enough. You need different tools different blades for different textures, such as this hair texture right here with my man's Choom is definitely a challenge, but there's not any hair texture that's impossible to cut. In some cases there is, actually. You cannot save everybody, but this is a very tight texture, which for some reason some people don't think I post enough. I actually do post a lot of coarse hair textures. I showcase what I can do with the skill set that I have, but I just don't have that many clients that have a tight coarse hair texture. You know what I'm saying? I only post those who allow me and consent to being recorded, and I only post what I promote. Then there's also, I post what I want to post. Last, for the record, there's no such thing as an easy haircut or texture. They're all challenging. But yeah, and moving on to a different texture. This one really hurts me, and I mean, my man's right here. I have no idea what he's doing with his hair, and he has a great texture, especially when it comes to this little pop-up that I'm about to have for y'all to check out, because he has a clean line that gets created and everything. But I think possibly he may be being insecure about just his look right now. I'm not really sure. We haven't really had an in-depth conversation. I'm going to, of course, get at him the next time I see him, because during this haircut, he actually mentioned to me that he wants to go back to his original look. And for those of you who haven't seen him on my TikTok, Facebook, or IG, something like that floating around, he usually rocks waves up top. I'm talking about some of the best waves that I have seen on anybody, for real. And don't knock how I'm brushing his hair. This is just the pattern that he has, and that's how we flow with it. That's how he brushes it, and those things are busting. But I hope he gets back to it and moves on from this look, which is not bad. I just don't have any idea what his goal is for this look, because he just wants to rock a taper and the supernatural messy like top, which he is sponging. But as you can see, it's very much on the natural side of things right now, and I don't really have anything that can really assist with this, because the twist up comb I do use towards the end of his service, but it's not able to handle this texture how it should. But hopefully he gets back to those waves, because my man has a great texture, a great lineup setup, and everything. The taper always looks amazing on him, so hopefully this is retired soon. But anyway, this is pretty much a wrap for this video, y'all. That's the update on some of the tools that I did make some upgrades to, such as this Saber precision blade, my Gamma Plus hitter with the clear lid, and I of course put the one cutter on it. And yeah, pretty much stay tuned. If y'all have any questions, ask me. If you want to see any particular specific type of content, please comment. You can DM me if you don't want to leave a comment on TikTok or Instagram. I do respond. I'm not the funny type. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to be very forward and let you know what it is, because nowadays there's a lot of faking it for the gram, faking it for the YouTubes, faking it for all these platforms. Is not where it's at. You got to be very straightforward with yourself, be real with yourself, do what you do, how you do it. Don't do something just because you saw it somewhere. And y'all stay tuned for my giveaway that I promised y'all about the TPOB items. I'm trying to get myself to 2,000 subscribers, so y'all gotta help me get to 2,000 subscribers. Share this account, help others follow me on my social media. My TikTok, for example, is stuck at 19,000 followers. Please help me get that to about 20K will be great. But mainly I want y'all to focus on my YouTube, because things such as my IG I'm trying to grow as well, just to get a better reach, so I can get this information that I have to give those who need it. As far as reach, I need to get in those algorithms. I need to help me get in those algorithms. But definitely hit me up in these comments for any questions. And like I say, stay tuned with that TPOB giveaway. I have a lot of those tools that I'm sitting on right now that I am not using. They're just sitting there that I am trying to give away. They're ready to go. These things are hitting. They're cutting great. And if you know about TPOB, act like you know. But anyway, follow me on all my different platforms. I have Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and of course TikTok. But please do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll catch you on the next one.